They don't understand the impact or implication of anything they say. They just say them. And according to them, we have declared the government is trying to they have no idea of anything. They are the dredge, the worst of the worst. Then you have criminals with money. So what do you expect? Chaos everywhere, violence. The biggest country in Africa that cannot conduct a simple election. Because criminals are those conducting the elections. Criminals are those who wrote the laws. Criminals are those they put uniform on and gave guns to. To what? To be loyal to who? Not to the country, but to these criminals as well. It is like a racket like that, unfortunately. So nobody is safe, nobody is spared, everybody is trapped inside there, Now when this bottom of the barrel promises you something and says something and you believe them, or you think you are defending them for something that, no, everybody's going to be trapped in it. And that is what you currently have in Nigeria. And because it is not just about Tinubu anymore, when I tell you that even with all the available evidence, a lot of you are witnesses yourselves. A lot of you participated in the charade. If they begin to call you one by one, you have a lot to say, even on your own, from your own experience. You are witnesses. But you go to their court. The day that Mahmoud Yakubu violated the Nigeria law, your Nigeria law, and it damned the consequences that there's nothing 200 million people can do about it. You are running a charade. The numbers are not adding up. The law allows you to take your time, sort it. Okay? And if nobody meets the constitutional requirement as the INEC, you can conduct a rerun. Okay? A runoff. And that runoff, you will be the one to determine who and who will participate in the runoff. The law allows you that. You don't have to rush and declare a winner so that everybody can go to court. Okay? So you should conduct a runoff. And by the end of the first runoff, you would have had somebody with a clear lead. There's a different rule for runoff. There's a different rule for the general election. And if the thing leads to a runoff that they don't have clear winner to avoid this court embarrassment, Abi, the law allows the INEC to what? Hold on. Ascertain every number, every vote. Where do you know that they didn't hold the election? Clear everything, and take your time. So if you don't have any clear winner, declare for a runoff. Okay? The law allows you to do that. By the time you have a clear winner, where Abuja FCT is no longer determinant or whatever, then you declare the winner. Whoever is not satisfied with that can then go to Kotabi. That's what the law allows him to do. He didn't do that. He announced a winner of election that is only uploaded just less than 40% of the results. You have already tampered with the process of the election. You've already broken the law. So they went to court to say to their courts that they are allowed to do that. That they can say they want to upload the result electronically, and they can also change their mind and do it manually, forgetting the fact that there is actually a judgment against that, against the same INEC. For this whole time they are doing the trial, nobody within Tinubu's camp pick up that judgment where the where the Supreme Court actually ruled that INEC cannot change the rule of the game in the middle of the game. INEC cannot decide that they make this agreement, the agreement that everybody has signed up with, like everybody say, okay, this is how it's going to be. Okay, yeah, good. Then without that same parties, these people in that same agreement, then you change it. There is actually a Supreme Court judgment against that. Now, these Peter Obi people, they don't bring them out. Remember that Olanekpekun Tinubu people, they were so kind of nonchalant. They are so passive. They made you believe in their own written address that It's a waste of time. There is no evidence. Peter Obi couldn't even prove. They say Peter Obi didn't even challenge the election results. He didn't challenge the conduct of the election. That Peter Obi is just only complaining about the INEC not uploading the result electronically. And every other thing that they did in their petition is just waste of time and all of that. So the tribunal should throw it out. And in that part of their nonsense, they even threaten the whole country. They threaten the judiciary, threaten the whole country by saying that Peter Obi, that even if they call for a rerun election, Peter Obi will not benefit from that because he didn't win enough states. Now they push that. They say he only won in 16 states. He only won he only had 25% in 16 states. Tinubu had in 29 states and Abuja and all this nonsense. Abuja doesn't matter. They told you. Baba, the Bangkok be done land. A well-articulated, detailed response to that Ola Nekpekun or Iro Nekpekun's written address for Tinubu. Remember what I told you the last time, that if I am not a lawyer yet, or if you read through that, you will believe that Tinubu is not, Tinubu, Shetima, APC, INEC, they are not interested in actually defending or kind of debunking any evidence of rigging or any evidence against Tinubu. They are not interested. They didn't do anything to defend Tinubu. They just did something you can call the normal the normalities rather. Let's pretend that we attended a trial, but at the end of the day, the whole institution is in our pockets. So there's no point in wasting our time. So the tribunal is going to throw the whole thing out. That's exactly how they responded. They called just one single witness. One single witness for INEC. One single witness standing for APC, Shetima, and Tinubu. One person is their witness. It was like they are not serious. They are not interested. They're like, it's just waste of time. Waste of time, Jerry. We wait for the tribunal. Maybe tribunal should just say Obi-Wan or something. Then we go to the Supreme Court. Ariwola is there. The wheelchair CJ of Nigeria, the one that is doing demo. You remember him? That old man. He's a member of APC. Some of you will be pretending that you don't know. How can you say that about the Chief Justice of Nigeria? He's a erudite, learned, oti yawere, gomo. Ma, oh yeah, they play. Ogbo, Ariwola, erudite, this and the The Supreme Court, what do you call it? The Chief Justice of Nigeria is a member of APC, Egbekegbe. But it's not like openly carrying his membership card. He openly endorsed the G5. Chief Justice of Nigeria. He endorsed. He was so happy with what Wirewike, Soloma Kinde, Ikpeazu, Iguanyi, and then Autumn that broke out of PDP. Chief Justice of Nigeria was hosted by Wirewike in Rivers State. And you know what he said? He said, I am happy that the governor of my state is a member of G5. And what G5 is doing is going to be to the advantage of Tinubu in the long run. Because what they have done is to reduce the power or advantage of PDP. But the statement of, I am happy that my own governor is a member of G5 is like a word on stone or word on marble. And that is the current Chief Justice of Nigeria. So they play. But when you look at what Peter Obi and his lawyers submitted, which we are going to go through in a moment, and then you understand where the confidence of disobedience are coming from. But when I remember what one of our parliamentarians said on that day. I mean, the last time we had that on this platform. And he said that you were as confident as well when or before the election that INEC, they no bond them well to rig the election. But when they did, it was like a dream. Abi, for some of you, it was like, is this actually happening? Did that just happen? Did we just get robbed? And that devastated a lot of you. So if somebody tells you that wherever you are getting that confidence from, that the evidence is boku, the court, they no bond them well. So those who can also use the same INEC scenario, don't blame them, okay? And that is why we said that we should advise ourselves here that all of you that are expecting anything from their court, the ideal thing is to what? Please manage your expectation. As for me, I will keep my shoulder here for you to cry on. And I will also keep my arms open for you to hug. Let me explain that again. I know that whatever INEC did, as disgraceful as you have seen it, as provocative as it has been, as much as angry, I mean, as angry as you are, on the day they will read the judgment, after all of this, you will be more sadder and angrier because you'll be wondering, where is logic here? Where is morality here? Where is law here? And then I will be here, Mayegun, when that happened, to keep my shoulder for you. We can all cry together. I can cry with you and say, well, you know what? I understand. I do. I really, really do. And I feel your pain. Come here. Give me a cuddle. Okay? Come here. Come on. And if they also surprise us, like I told you, shock everybody. Even if not just that momentary celebration that you are going to be like, oh my God, Jesus, Allah, Shineke, Bangiji, and all of that. I will also be here, grinning and grinding from here to here, even though I can't see you, I'll be giving you the virtual hug. Obedience, yeah, come here, congratulations, well done, I will always be here. And that is very much why you should maintain your expectation. It's good. I've had people told me here that they have been maintaining their own expectation, even though they can't put their mind away. And I say, I understand. You invested a lot in this. Despite so much discouragement, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, no, don't do it. Mayegun will take our country back next year. Mayegun will take Nigeria back. Nigeria to is possible. And all of that stuff. Don't do it. Please don't do it. No, Mayegun, we need to fight for this country. We need to stand up as okay. Okay, do it. All right, do it then. You remember? So yeah, we can have something there to say, But talking about the system that we ignore facts and they will go after technicalities and the rest of that, and for the sake of all of us, okay, who cannot read everything from what happened, but partly that we are doing it together. Sometimes it's fun, sure you get. But when I start getting to section, verse, I go skip and me too, I don't like them. Okay? But here is what Peter Obi and his lawyers, their own response. It is called written address. Maybe before I even get to that, I'll say this one quickly. My people, who are all of you who are from Delta State, James Ibori is about to forfeit another money to the government of UKO. Sure you get. As I tell you. So what happened is that the UK government investigating James Ibori, that sent him to jail that time. They have discovered that James Ibori is Obolobole, Olebruku, like confirm Ole Gidigon. So they found some money on him that they sent him to jail. Okay. Then, because of good behavior, right? They now said he doesn't have to spend the 10 years in jail. Made them release him. Okay. But when they released him, he went back to Nigeria. Now, when he was gone, they discovered that there's actually another 126 or 129 million dollars Delta State money that James Ibori brought to this country. They found it. They started calling him, come like Kolu. I bet that was how the Americans were calling him. I said, come we don't find your heroin partner, so you go jail. They started calling James Ibori. You need to come this money, we are going to take this money. And if you want to fight us for this money, remember that we release you because of stealing money from Nigeria, bringing illegal money to the UK. Don't you see the irony of this as well? Most of the stolen money from Nigeria are in the UK. They have invested them in in properties. They have invested them in businesses here in the UK. And the UK government quite know some of these individuals, by the way. Sure you get. But you see this James Ibori. Okay, make I tell you something. I'll tell you what happened. When James Ibori went back to Nigeria, people just they hear him. They know they see him. For years, James Ibori is in Delta State. He's been there. Nobody they see him. Until Kolu invited all the old thieves. When James Ibori was looting the money of Delta State, Tinubu was changing the name of the ownership of Lagos State to that of his family. He was doing change of name in Lagos. Ibori was looting whatever he could steal. And he was bringing the money to the UK. So they were of the same era. Olongbo. They are from the same time, 1999 governors. So, suddenly, Ibori just show up in Ass Old Rock. And you know that the people of Chatham House, what do you call it? You know Chatham House now, when Kolu came to Chatham House. And Kolu gbe won handicap, carry them handicap. By talking about a teamship, when they ask him questions about what he's going to do, fight corruption, and he was talking about teamship. And he also said he will promote democracy, no rigging, no violence. Now from UK, from London, those people from Chatham House, they watch waiting they happen for Nigeria. They were like, now terrorists we hosted. Corrupt kleptomaniac la host. They didn't know that more are still going to come out of their closets, including James Ibori. Chatham House, now so then sit down, no. The UK government that took more than $200 million or pound sterling from James Ibori, money stolen from Delta State. They returned some of the money, only for them to, it's so crazy, right? When James Ibori stole Delta State money and brought it to the UK, and the UK government prosecuted him for bringing illicit money into the UK, okay? And they sent him to jail. So they took the money, confiscated the money. So they now return part of the money. When James Ibori was in prison in the UK, James Ibori was choosing the governor for them in Nigeria, in Delta States. It was James Ibori's anointed, what have you, that became the governor. Oduan, his name is Oduan, that became governor. So when the UK government that arrested James Ibori for looting Delta State, Oduan was keeping James Ibori's share from the continuation of looting of Delta State. When Oduan was done, now James Ibori sent the name of Okowa to be the next governor of the Delta State. He's their godfather. Sure you get? So for Okowa to be governor, the godfather had to endorse him. So Okowa also had to assure the godfather that his money will continue steady. So James Ibori that they punished for stealing the Delta State money, and they kept him in jail, did not stop the looting, or it did not stop him from looting Delta State money. Along. That was the Don Ibori. So Maybe Ibori is gone, we'll just forget him. You know, we no see him again. They just saw him with Pablo Escobar too. Voila, these people have reconnected. Kolu, Escobar, and James Bond Ibori. Ogboju ole nínú Igbo Delta. Voila, they just call him. Hello, James Bond. Abi na James Bond budele makpe. I don't know. Jemisi Ibori. There is $129 million we just discovered. We want to keep that money. We're not returning the money back to Nigeria. And we are taking it by court, which means that money is going to go as punishment instead of it to go to jail. But if you want to challenge them, you have to stay in Nigeria. And if they convict you here, if you go anywhere, Interpol, I just make I tell you, in case if you don't see Ibori for Aso Rock again, you don't get the message be that too. Okay? But if you see Ibori for Aso Rock again, now you be say Ibori is just telling them that una the craze, UK, you the craze. Pablo Escobar is my friend. He forfeited 460,000 US dollars because of drug trafficking, heroin trafficking in America. He is the president of Nigeria now. How much money I stole? How much is the money I stole from Delta State? We all of you are now saying that I cannot forfeit that and continue my life. So forfeiture is forfeiture. To avoid jail, you can forfeit money. Kolu forfeited money. 460,000 US dollars for heroin trafficking. And Wale Ironipekun said, it no matter. That was a long time ago. Even if you go jail for a crime or you kill somebody, you commit murder, as long as it is 10 years ago, you can become president of Nigeria. That's what Wale told them. Wale Ironipekun, ladies and gentlemen. So James Ibori is a two-way thing. If you don't see him for us old rock anymore, you don't get the message. Sure you get. But if you see him for us old rock, it is esprit de corps. Show mo koton jebe. Esprit de corps. Padi, aworawo. Same. Womak pami. You shall get what I mean. Esprit de corps. If you don't understand, join police. They go teach you. Esprit de corps means say we be padi, we be rawo, and we be of the same trade. Anyway, let's go take a quick look. And before I take you through that, the obedient love to actually flaunted this. And according to them, these are real issue. After all said and done, you should all remember that what Peter Obi and his own people, what they are challenging Kolu for, why they are in their tribunal, in court, why they want Tinubu to be, not just to be disqualified, to be arrested. These are the real issues the obedient will tell you. Drug trafficking and money laundering case, and 460,000 US dollars forfeiture, 25% in FCT, forged certificate, which is perjury, INEC not allowing following his own guidelines, shitty man, vice president double nomination, INEC, the election rigging, dual citizenship and perjury. These are the real issues. Obedient are very stubborn. I don't know if you have come across them. They are actually like intelligently stubborn. And it's unfortunate that that pool of wealth, of intelligence of these young people, energy, are what the relic, the septuagenarians, octogenarian relics, demented, agad, what do you call them? Criminals, old, passing out, relic, I'll call them. See me, they look for grammar, we go flow like, but they don't come, unfortunately. I wanted to use all this big grammar so that you'll be asking me what's the meaning. And I'll say, just look at my eyes. The wider I open the eyes, the bigger the grammar. And then, you know what I mean? But they didn't come. Someone will leave that one. Anyway, those are the real issues. Okay. So let's go to what the Peter Obi's lawyers, the one where we can read, the one that doesn't need too much, you know what I mean? So ma start with hang on. The opening. It is called the opening. So from the beginning, they say now from the start, they don't shoot. Yeah. They say, this is Peter Obi's response. Yeah. Yeah, you get it, Abby. If I say it softly, that means it's not something too serious. If I open my eye like that, it has you know that that's something serious. I get you, Mayegun. I understand, even though if I don't know the meaning, because the meaning, you get what I mean. So that's why when we go into this, for example, Astopol, I ask you this question. All of you will go school. All of you will get grammar for it. Show I stopped. I may even be saying it wrongly. It's a legal name, Sha. I stopped. So you hear that one which says stop. They say astopel is a legal term. See, let me sound serious. Because that's in my head now. Go come out again. Astopel or I stopped. Come out the nonsense in the everybody go to Google I stopped. They go to give you different name of somebody from Cambodia or name of a place, animal or thing. Anyway, I'll read it to you. But what that means is that in law, when you say that, my lord, I stopped INEC. What that means is I am telling that my lord should tell INEC that INEC cannot change the rule of the game in the middle of the game. It's like a code. You know that one they will say Onwefe. When you say that, when a judge read them, go no say, I stopped. I stopped it. God damn it, I stopped it. INEC, I stop you from saying that. It's not a trick. INEC is telling everybody that because they are the umpire, okay? They are the ones allowed by law to say how election is going to happen. Whether they are going to upload results new, whether they are going to manually say the results new, it's only them. So that one is that, INEC, you sign an agreement. That agreement said, we will all get our voters card. We will go out and we'll be given ballot paper, result sheet. We will vote. We will count it. We will write the result in the result sheet. While we are doing all of that, they will use the beavers, take the picture of the results, upload it on the IRF. That's what we sign up for. Why you go come to change in the middle of the game, the day of election, where results, they upload the results, just turn it off. And you say because you have the right, law says you have. I stop it, oh my lord. I stopped it. I stopped it. So that's what the OP people are saying. And they say it's a very strong thing. It's a very strong so they included it in this petition. So they have responded to hey, you see? God damn it, man. Until long I stop Latin coin. Stop. If anybody tell you say education is very expensive or it's too expensive, tell them to try ignorance. Alone. Imagine Kiloma Paru I stop láàrin shopping mall. Go inside shopping mall because of I just learned a new word. So I stop. I said, no, it's a stopper. A stopper. You see, a stopper. And that one sounded like, like Mayegun, barrister Mayegun. Anyway, that's why they are now saying that INEC cannot do that. In the past, technically, INEC could do that. So people can go get a Supreme Court judgment that said they must never do that. Not any court judgment, a Supreme Court judgment that said, no, INEC, you can't be doing that. No, you can't. You're not allowed to do that. You follow the rule to the end. And if you are changing the rule, everybody must sign it. Everybody must agree. If any party says they don't agree, then that rule doesn't stand in an election. So stop, sorry. You go to better. Why didn't I pick it that way? If I had picked it like a street way when I was reading it, I stop here, I stop here. But we stop here. Omo law gone mad, sha. Omo will tell ourselves the truth. Oh, makes sense now. No the street. If I say stop here, stop here. That means I'm trying to warn you. Advice is please stop here, stop here. Omo, so the OB people are telling the tribunal judges that any tribunal judges, stop stop aye. When you click, to pick, I should have picked that one since it would have. Well, anyway, thank you. So that's what they did. So I'm going to read the first part to you, and I'm going to add my own just so that it can be interesting to you, so that it doesn't look like I'm just reading. A lot of you won't like you don't like all these terminologies and all of that from courts anyway. I don't like them. So I go read them, add my jara, make you understand. So this is a Peter Obi. Peter Obi is going to be called a petitioner. Shengbo. And INEC, Tinubu, Shitty Man, at the APC, Egbekegbe, they will be called respondents. Respondent 1, Owuni INEC. Respondent 2, Owuni Tinubu. Respondent 3 is Shitty Man. Respondent 4 is APC, Egbekegbe. Emma Yawere Washiri. Share you get now. So, Peter Obi and Labour Party, they are the petitioners. This is their response. Okay, they say petitioners' final written address. In response, I want to see if I can actually just get this page completely out of my way. Come on. Anyway, so introduction. First of all, introduction. 1. This is the petitioner's reply address in response to the submissions contained in the second and third respondents in Tinubu and Shittima's written address, dated and filed on the 14th July 2023. Tinubu and Shittima's final address. Peter Obi and Labour Party will also, in this address, urge your lordships to uphold that the petitioners, Peter Obi, provided substantial proof of this petition. In proof of their case, Peter Obi called 13 witnesses and tendered several documentary evidence. INEC called 1 witness, and then witness, which is respondent witness 1. Whilst Tinubu and Shettima also called 1 witness, called respondent witness 2, RW2. So the 4th, which is the APC, Egbekegbe, choose not to call any witness. 3. A sentence in the Tinubu Shettima address alarmed Obi and millions of Nigerians. Tinubu and Shettima went too low and abandoned discretion when they claimed as follows, in quote, our submission is that the petitioners, Peter Obi, are inviting anarchy by their ventilation of this issue of non-transmission of results electronically by INEC, off quote. This is a cheap, misguided, and destructive blackmail, clearly intended to target the country's judicialism and constitutionalism. It also aims at cannibalizing our democracy. It will also raise the issue of insecurity. If Peter Obi emulates the bad example of Tinubu and Shettima, however, that will never happen. When has it become offensive for petitioners to canvass a ground prescribed for the challenge of an election in section 1B of the Electoral Act 2022? Desperation taken too far can be extremely dangerous. Let the Tinubu Shettima know that where the rule of law is trampled upon or truncated, anarchy reigns supreme. So, relevant facts. Prior to the conduct of the 25th of February 2023 presidential election, the third respondent had previously been nominated, which is Shettima, as a senatorial candidate of APC for Borno Central Senatorial District, and remained so till 15th of July 2022, when he withdrew his said nomination as a senatorial candidate of APC for Borno Central on the platform of APC, rather. So whilst Shettima was standing nominated as senatorial candidate, as aforestated, he was unlawfully nominated as the vice presidential candidate of APC on the 14th of July 2022, thereby knowingly allowed himself to be nominated as a candidate in more than one constituency within the meaning and intendment of Section 35 of the Electoral Act. So Peter Obi will argue that the invalid nomination of Shettima as the vice presidential candidate nullified the nomination and election of Tinubu as the presidential candidate of APC within the meaning of the provision of Section 142 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. 3. It is common knowledge that Tinubu was the subject of an order of forfeiture made by the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division in case number 93C 4483. The order of forfeiture against Tinubu was in terms forfeiting the sum of $460,000 against him, Bola Tinubu, which represent proceeds of narcotic trafficking and money laundering. The order for forfeiture against Tinubu was a fine within the meaning of Section 137(1)(d) of 1999 Constitution, for which a person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if he is under a sentence of fine for any offense involving dishonest or fraud by whatever name called imposed on him by a court or tribunal. 4. The virus of the statutory and constitutional disqualification of Tinubu and Shettima as candidates in presidential election renders their purported return or declaration as the winners of the election invalid, null and void, and liable to be set aside. 5. Pursuant to the mandatory provision of the Electoral Act 2022 and the subsidiary legislation made thereunder, to wit, Regulation and Guidelines for the Conduct of General Election 2022, Regulations and Guidelines, and Manual for the Election Officials 2023, Manual for Election Officials, INEC introduced the use of modern technology for the conduct of 2023 elections, general elections. By this, INEC represented, provided that it would use bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for the accreditation of voters in the polling unit and the upload and transmission of the result of the election in real time on the day of the election and during the electoral proofs to the INEC result viewing portal, right? The IREF. So 6, INEC vigorously campaigned that The use of technology in the electoral process, including the upload and transmission of the result of the election in real time using the beavers from the polling unit to the IRF, will ensure the integrity and the credibility of the election results in Nigeria. 7. Contrary to the requirement of the law and in manifest disregard of his own representation, INEC abandoned and discarded the much expected upload transmission of the results of the election in real time on the day of the election from the polling unit to the IRF. Rather, very strangely, blurred, unreadable, and inaccessible document images were uploaded by INEC to the IRF, purporting same to be the result of the election in various polling units. These blurred images and inaccessible documents, which were purported to be the result of the election in the polling units, form EC8As. The net result of the upload of the blurred images on the IRF was that the result of the election could neither be authenticated nor verified, and thus lacked credibility and transparency. So, Tinubu and Shettima contention or claim that the presiding officers duly uploaded polling unit result to the IRF flies in the face of the unchallenged documentary evidence of blurred, unreadable copies of the purported forms EC8A, certified by INEC and given to Peter Obi as the result of the election, as per the form EC8As in the polling unit. So, exhibit PCE1 there, right? So I'm going to jump to another one. I don't like reading all those quoting there. So 8, Peter Obi's lawyers in their written address continue. We will show in this ensuing argument that Tinubu and Shettima's case, as per paragraph 76 of their reply to the petition, to the effect that the results being uploaded on the IRF are as contained in the respective INEC forms, and that all the results being uploaded were emanated from polling units where elections were conducted, is totally out of sync with the unchallenged documentary evidence before the Honorable Court and identified above. 9. In response to the petitioner's request and the subpoena issued by the Honorable Court, INEC blatantly failed to comply with the requirement of the law by refusing to provide the petitioners with certified copies of the top copies, electoral operations copies of the Form EC8A in the polling units under paragraph 39 of the regulations and guidelines. 10. Apart from the blatant refusal to comply with the mandatory requirements of the law, the certified copies of the result of the election given to the petitioners by the INEC manifestly show that the purported forms EC8As, which is the result sheet, by the way, in several polling units were affected by mutilations, cancellations, alterations, and outright swapping of votes in favor of Tinubu and Shettima, right? And against Peter Obi and Labour Party. These acts of non-compliance are manifest on the certified copies of the forms EC8A given by INEC to Peter Obi, the petitioner, and are deemed as sufficient proof of the irregularities, non-compliance thereon within the meaning of the provisions of Section 137 of the Electoral Act 2022. 11. The only excuse invented by INEC, Tinubu, Shettima, and APC in their reply to the petition was that the refusal to comply with the specific requirements of the law to upload, transmit the result of the election using the beavers from the polling unit to the IRF was occurrence of the alleged technological glitches on the day of the election. Though the presidential election was conducted at the same time on the same day, at the same respective polling unit with the National Assembly, which is the Senate House of Representatives elections. The result of the National Assembly elections were successfully uploaded, transmitted from the beavers to the IRF portal. Strangely, only the result of the presidential election, equally held in the same polling units, using the same infrastructure, could not, according to INEC, as required by law, be uploaded or transmitted from the polling unit to the IRF. 12. Peter Obi and Labour Party provided unchallenged evidence. What they are saying is that all the evidence that they presented, Tinubu and INEC and APC, they don't challenge any of the evidence. That is why they rushed to go and write down what they wrote. Like, there's no evidence, my lord. Just throw everything out. So Peter B is now saying that they don't challenge any of the evidence. Remember, they are saying objection. Why are you objecting? We'll say it later. Sure, you remember when they were saying, when Peter Obi and his people were presenting evidence during the trial, you remember? And Tinubu's lawyers, they will say objection. Objection what? We'll explain it in our written address. So when they finally put up their written address, you know what it said in that written address? They said there was no evidence at all. Peter Obi, they don't present any evidence, any exhibits. It's a waste of time because they didn't even challenge any of that. That's what Peter Obi's lawyers are saying. Now let's continue. Okay. When I am tired of reading or I get to a stage where it becomes complicated, I go drop them, add my own jara, move to another thing, and start taking calls. I want to take calls tonight, by the way. So if you are still here with me, do take a moment, right? You can still like this video. You can still share it. On YouTube right now, I have over 3,200 people who are currently sitting down there watching on their different devices, TV and all that. You see, if out of 3,200 people watching on YouTube, and we only have just 700 of you who have actually liked this broadcast, right? So it means that only 700 people have actually liked this and they have shown it, okay? Now imagine, out of 3,000 plus people, and you only see just 1,000 of you who have actually subscribed onto my Egun's channel, okay? You only search for me. At every time, you'll be like, what time is it? 8 o'clock. Let me go and search for Mayegun on YouTube. And once you see me, you just watch the video and that's you. Now, you can imagine if the remaining 2,000 of you who didn't subscribe, if 1,000 of you just decide to subscribe right now, see what that number will jump to. I have all the statistics and I am just saying this to you. A lot of you just kind of search for Mayegun. I say, then search for him. Let me go and watch him on YouTube. Then you search. Oh, it's live. Once you finish watching, the program is over. Tomorrow you come back again and search. I mean, if you can do that, that is you supporting me. That's how you support somebody that you think is doing fine. You are doing a great job, Mayegun. You are doing a wonderful job, Mayegun. In fact, you are doing this and that, but you would never actually show those little things that is called support. So I appreciate them all for those who always do that too, okay? But don't keep it for the last. Do it now. Check my channel, subscribe onto it, increase the number. That is how you are helping. Anyway, let's go to it. Number 12. He said, Peter Obi. Exactly. So Peter Obi said, Peter Obi provided unchallenged evidence that the failure or neglect to upload or transmit the result of the presidential election held on the 25th of February 2023 was a violation of the collation process prescribed under the Electoral Act and also substantially affected the result of the election. So from the purported results of the presidential election, right, announced or declared by INEC on the 1st of March, the second, which is Tinubu Ashitima, as candidate of APC, did not win 1/4 of vote, which is 25% vote cast at the election held on the 25th of February in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as required by the correct meaning and interpretation of the provision of Section 134, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution as amended. So here is the determination. They say issues for determination. And this one long, I don't know if you read that one long. This is where they are asking the court what they want the court to do. So make I just glance through them with you, okay? And then I'm gonna and see if I can pick anything interesting. So this is the argument. They call it a constant whatever. Now let's go to the conclusion. They always have something called conclusion, okay? So the conclusion is where they are going to now say something to the judges and say, my lord, having said all of this is what we want you to do. I'm gonna. So let me go to page 40. No, that's their names. Let's go to page 37, 36, page 35. No, that's going too back. I'm going to stay at page 36 and I'm going to roll it, okay? So we can go to their conclusion. Now, the copy of this, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to drop it in the comment section, okay? And you, right? You can go and read it as well, all right? So what they are saying is that Tinubu and Shettima, they did not win any election. And the conclusion, see the conclusion. So for reasons given above, wait be the reasons. Furthermore, I don't want to read that. So conclusion, for reasons given above, we respectfully urge your lordship to discountenance Tinubu and Shettima defense as devoid of any scintilla of merit. Hold that the petitioners' Peter Obi's case is meritorious and grant them their relief. In conclusion, may we respectfully commend to your lordship the words on marble of the Kenyan Supreme Court in the case of Raila Odinga and Ano versus Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, or ORS, 2017, paragraph 399. When in nullifying the election that returned His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta as the winner of Kenya presidential election in 2017, ex-cathedra said, 13991, what of the argument that this court should not subvert the will of the people? The court is one of those to whom that sovereign power has been delegated under Article 13C of the same constitution. All its powers, including that of invalidating a presidential election, is not self-given nor forcefully taken, but is donated by the people of Kenya. To dishonestly exercise that delegated power and to close our eyes to the constitutional violations will be a dereliction of duty, and we refuse to accept the invitation to do so. However popular the invitation may seem, therefore, however burdensome, let the majesty of the Constitution reverberate across the length and breadth of our motherland. Let it bubble from our rivers and oceans. Let it boomerang from our hills and mountains. Let it serenade our households from the trees. Let it sprout from our institutions of learning. Let it toll from our sanctums of prayer. And to those who bear the responsibility of leadership, let it be a constant irritant. And they close their case against Kolu. Ladies and gentlemen, we wait for Atifu's closing written address. And once I lay my hand on that as well, I am going to bring that to you. Just for the reading's sake, the important part of this, because this was submitted to the court, the judges are going to read all of this. They were seated, they sat when all this evidence were being presented, when this argument was being made. Now it's going to be them to now come back and tell you that this evidence have been accepted, Kolu and Shettima didn't win, and here is the winner. Or we have hereby the Constitution, the power, the Constitution gives us the power to nullify the election or uphold it, and therefore we are nullifying it. Whatever is going to happen, if everyone fall that time, made the heaven fall. Sure you get. So whatever is going to be, the destiny of the 200 million people is now in the hands of 5 people, 5 judges from the tribunal, presidential tribunal. All of the arguments, all of the shut up your mouth, shut up your papa, shut up Kiniko, Tinubu is going to go, our stolen mandate is going to be returned, we are going to take back our Kiniko, all of that is now in the hand of 5 people. If these 5 people come out and they say they didn't see any evidence, Obi didn't prove anything, I hope you will remember this video and you can actually reignite your anger because you'll be so angry. The way they will do it is going to be so insulting that you didn't actually have all of this evidence yourself. You didn't follow this whole thing. And if they come out and they decide to uphold their law and say, well, Ibori, Igbonile Obo, Ati Bin Laden, Ati Escobar to Ibori Kamakpademo. The people who are in Agbado camp, they are already hungry. They don't get strength. A lot of them right now, they are ready. Protest for hire. Protesters for hire. Give them 500 naira and give them 1 Congo of gari, 1 small bag of gari. They will follow you anywhere. The hunger is reverberating all over the country as we speak. So if Tinubu thinks that anarchy will happen, if they remove him, people will go get anarchy, no get strength. Everybody, they hungry right now. In fact, the remaining strength in some of them now to celebrate the what do you call it? The freedom that is going is, although it's going to be momentary, sure you get. But whatever happens, those of you who are still trekking, I am advising you, from this.
You are saying that this person cannot perform. Yet you are saying he in our party nonsense. I've told, if you vote party, the way you will suffer, me, I'll be here, I'll tell you, I will suffer with you. Nothing will make me suffer with you. I know too much that I can't suffer. But I can tell you, look, you know I'm a man of God. Try to make mistake. Neither will tumble to 5,000. If you don't want another to tumble to 5,000, better tell yourself what to do. It's a word to you when you vote people who have nothing in their head. If you vote party this time, Nigerians, we go fall our hand and watch on. All the things they are suffering, am I suffering with you? I'm too connected by covenant to suffer what people are suffering. But if you vote, it's a word to you when your leader is like a child. That means any leader who will be using dampers is dangerous. It's a word to the whole life. When thy king is what? Child. It's the Bible, I'm not the one who said it. It's a word to the whole land. When thy king is a child. They use dampers for children. So if you have a leader who they use dampers, woe to you. And the priest is eating the... It's the Bible, am I the one that said it? You are saying that this person cannot perform.
Disable, Atisete, Atin Parotipe, Atisete, Tito, Dimo, Dodo, Simon, Atisete, Kagwa de Falari, Atisete, Kagwa de Falari, Atisete, Adajo, Paro, Tori Ogo, Atisete, Odilu, Paron, Tori Bo, Atisete, Udo, Minster, Atisete, Tiangara, Atisete, Disable.
Have you seen Shege? Shege you? Have you seen Shege? Shege you? That's what is out there as we speak. Read this one from this what do you call it? This Yoruba Ronu. Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba Roku. Ebi today, Ebi lo mashoro. You see, listen to this one said, we thought Buhari was the problem. We business owners envisaged a boom. We don't know we envisage a boom. boom. Na bomb sori tó bá gbọ́ gbù ayé ẹ ló ta pa o yẹn. Any of you wey hear any gbò from anywhere láì fún yín lọ fi ta káìsì ó ti lanà nìyẹn láò tí yín ta business yẹn ló blow dànù yẹn. Ogun ayé ò ṣe o, ogun yẹn kọ́kọ́ ṣe o, lógun ìdílé o. O ti fa ayé ẹ ta káìsì lórí Yorùbá ronú, people wey no send you, career criminals. Anyway, this one confess online. And somehow, he go soon begin the beg that they should help him, his family. My family is going through everything. I don't want you to judge me based on my political decision. Judge them, judge them based on their political decision. Or anybody we defended the APC in 2015. They did the same thing in 2019. Baba. 2023, they are still telling you that Shove Kalo Dibo for more Igbo ni. Are you asking us to go and Dibo for more Igbo? We are Yoruba, omo eni o le se dibebere. Baba, na person wey shop belle food dey get idibebere. You know what is called idibebere? Idibebere is that if you have a girl child, right? And by the time she started growing and all that, okay? So you can't have a child with a large bomb, right? And then you will say you want to go and give the bead to beautify their waist. You want to go and give that to Zidiomo Elomi. But it makes sense, anyway. English will make sense. The English looks so, it sounded like pedophilic, child abuse. Anyway, all the nonsense they told you, Yoruba lokan, Yoruba ronu, Yoruba roku, and all the nonsense they told you. Baba, AB lo ma show of everybody. AB. If they talk, say if you go everywhere now, you go to say they do election for Nigeria. A lot of you, Yoruba roku, Yoruba roku. AB ti fẹ́ pa yín dànù báyìí sin yo. AB yẹn dẹ̀ máa pa ṣégeṣége sí yín lára. No be o le ranjú mọ́ mi o sì ní data àbí. You still get data where you go take abuse me àbí. O máa tó tán, you go finish am. Once the pound sterling jump to 1,500 naira to a pound, 1,400 naira to euro, 1,200 naira to a dollar. Ìgbà yẹn gan MTN recharge card ó lè jẹ́ wheelbarrow lẹ́ máa lọ fi máa ra ní 100 naira. Àmọ́ mo mọ nǹkan tí mò ń sọ o. Very soon ní rówó tó máa fi wá bú mi mọ́ tí yín máa tapa ò mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ni, because you know what they say. They say when you are seeing people now, a lot of people, they don't even go out anymore. You go to say that they do election. One way came and said, can't you see the handiwork of God too? Lagos that is always congested. Lagos traffic, we go take 10 years out of your lifetime, our lifespan. Suddenly, Tinubu just solved the Lagos traffic like that. They are like catching cruise. So people know they go anywhere anymore. Some of them they don't build muscle for legs now. You go see women, APC Agbado Abobaku, lamenting, complaining. Nigerians have started walking in just like a few days. Like it would have been a national pride, though. The Nigerians are now exercising, they are walking, they don't use transport too much and all that. Bobo. Now Shakpa Messi bien. Shakpa no grio. Shakpa Messi bien. That is Shakpa John now. Shakpa please now. Shakpa Kedu Kodi now. Shaga Asta Gafuru lie now. Shaga Ode John. I mean Shakpa Ode John now. Kind of thing. Shey you get. Shakpa Messi bien. A lot is in other ring. They were walking and it made it into the news. I'm not joking. I'll show you this one. The Arise guys were talking about it recently, right? They are saying that people are kind of they are improvising key you there. Only láti kílórúkọ láti Kétu lọ sí Ìlàsà Májà, láti Kétu lọ sọ́ba Lende, onohun ṣe exercise. Ìyà ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀. You know it yourself. And you didn't bargain for this. Go and see some of them. They are like crying for real. And some people are telling them that wait, Kolu is still coming. The policy. No be so they tell you say make you wait for Bokwari. Enyala iniro no oponu ayerada alaye baje. You buy yara inje fún yín nínú anyway. Enyala ye baje. 8 years under Buhari, they were telling you, you need to give him time, and you need to wait. One of these days, Buhari is building a future for you. Buhari now left. He went to London. No be Daura Hospital. He went to London. He ran away from all of you. Now you came back. Within 2 months, they don't shake your life from the pangolo that it has become. Until saw the Korofomo. Pangolo etiwaniwo, otinjowo, tietita finally. 2 months, are you blow down? Your life, everything around you won't collapse. Your blood pressure is going up, Abi. And somehow, somewhere came and they are telling you that give him time. Now, people will know like him are trying to destroy his name. Are you and destroy? Once on destroying the Tinubu's name. Tinubu enemy. Oh, Shakpa Mercy bien. Koya ko in case Shakpa ba Frenchy. Shakpa John now. Iyen lo ini Yoba. Kote elegbo. Shakpa, please now. I don't know the German of it. I don't know the Chinese or Mandarin of it. If I do, I will tell you. Sure you get. Remember this guy I played for you earlier? The one that is praying for his fuel tank not to move. Cruise and the rest of you know what I mean? It made it to the news. Let's see where I saw that one earlier. Give me 1 second though. I'm trying to find this clip where Rufai and their guys, but it's okay. I'll go listen to this prayer first. I'll take few calls, like I said, if time will still allow me. Or we should just catch our cruise to the rest of the program and I'll go to bed. We'll take calls some other time. But I will show you. They are now trekking everywhere. It made it to the news.
Heavenly Father, in Jesus' name I pray. Father, this fuel I bought for 7,000 naira in UD King filling station. Father, my God, I pray that this fuel gauge will not move from this place until Sunday in the mighty name of Jesus. As I move from place to place, from Manzayon to Otamunu to Ekpobasi to Mbukpa, I move to Watts Market, I move to University of Calabar. As I move to Motala Mohammed Highway, State Housing, Aka Ifasa Resort, Parliamentary Extension. Father, I will move with this fuel. From Asa Resort, I will move to 8 miles, Blix Continental, Iko de Nebong, Ekorinam. Father, my God, Spring Road, I will move to Mbukpa. Everywhere I go to, this fuel gate shall never move in Jesus' name. Father, you said in your word in the book of Matthew chapter